Hey, what's going on out there, man? Y'all know what time it is. It's 8 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock on a Tuesday night, prime time. Y'all know how we do it on the sports machine, man. Uh, like I always say, man, y'all know how we get down. Y'all know how we do it, man. Y'all go ahead and hit that subscribe button, man. Hit that like button to help your boy get his videos through the YouTube universe. And I got my ace cool boom in the building with me tonight, Mr. A1 Forever, Mr. Chris Tip Moore. He's always
Yes,
coming in
sir.
doing his thing, man. Yeah, well, we have something to announce, man. Chris gonna be joining us permanently. He's gonna be the third wheel, man. He's gonna help us out. So now we're a triple threat. Instead of a
Hey, man.
dynamic duo, we're a triple threat now. So uh welcome to the team, man, and welcome to the show. We sure gonna enjoy it, man, but we're gonna kick it off. But y'all know how we do it before we get into the show. Say what's up right quick, and then y'all got to see that fire intro.
Oh yeah, indeed, man. Dang, man. I guess you're gonna have to call it the A195 North Forever Sports Machine. No, man, but you already know, man. Chris Tipmore from A1 Forever Sports here, man. Be generational because it's always time to be, and don't dare settle for less because you can always have more with the vision. You dig? You ready for week 8, baby?
Yeah, we ain't coming, man. Yeah, man. So what we're gonna do, man? We're gonna kick it off like this. What we're gonna do, man? We're gonna go around the NFL like we always do. We're gonna give y'all our preview of the Tennessee Titans and the Atlanta Falcons in Tennessee. Then we're gonna give y'all our X factors, and then we're gonna give y'all those predictions, man. So y'all know how we roll on the show. But our special guest, Denny Mathews, will be in 1 second. He get it together, and when he do his intro, y'all gonna know who he is, cause he's silly, bro. But yeah,
Yeah.
man, it's interesting to see what's going on around the NFL, bro. Great trade between the Titans and the Philadelphia Eagles. And I'm telling you, man, the Eagles going all in.
Yeah.
They showing y'all their hand and they don't care. They sent Terrell Edmonds in a 2024 fifth and sixth round pick to the Tennessee Titans for safety. Kevin Byard, and he's one of the best safeties in the league, hands down. If y'all remember back in 2017, he led the NFL in interceptions with 8. He's a two-time All-Pro, two-time Pro Bowler, and yeah, he's only making $2.4 million. So the Eagles got a steal. And next year, he's only going to be making 14 million, but they will probably turn that into signing bonus and get more cap space. So the
See
Eagles are
that?
still willing, dealing, and they're building a powerhouse. But enough of my rambling and mumbling, man. Please tell the people what's up. And I had to get that through there on the first topic on around the NFL. Tell the people what's up and then give your thoughts on the
Oh
trade.
no. Oh man. Well, you already know again, man. Well, first of all, as far as the trade, real quick, yeah, that is a steal though. This I just want to touch, just really want to touch on that. That's a steal. And is this guy has 27 career interceptions? Is that what you're telling me, man?
Yep, 27, man. 27. That's a lot for a safety.
Man, I ain't
Yeah.
gonna lie to you. The Eagles are just out there. They're going all in. They're trying to get back to the Super Bowl. They don't care what they have to do, who they have to give, what kind of picks they have to give up, and you kind of got to admire it. I mean, they past 2, 3 seasons they have been putting together their own little form of a little, saying great team to go after playoff chases at the chase. So I like the move for them. I mean, I hate it in a way because they're in the NFC and we're going to have to play that team possibly. You never know. It's just as far as
Never
what
know.
you go, you never know. We may have to play that team. So, good steal for them. They also went and got Julio. They pulling out all the stops. They really are. So, I mean, hey, they're trying to get to the Super Bowl. I admire it. You know what I'm saying? All teams want to do similar things like this. But as far as they also have the option to keep him for a longer term too. So yeah,
Right.
definitely a deal for them. Definitely happy to be back in this place, man, in this space with all the Falcon faithful. Shout out to the chat. I know we're gonna get to them in a minute, but shout out to them already. as of course we thank you and appreciate everything that you guys do. But yeah, man, happy to be back in the place. First place Falcons. You know what I'm saying? Salute to all my Falcon fans, man. Who would have thought? Who would have thought, right? After 7 weeks, first place, right? And the crazy thing about it is this team could be even better than what it is, and as far as record and everything else that goes with it. So I believe we're still climbing. We're still climbing, guys. I don't believe we've seen the best of the Falcons just yet. It's only going to get better. But
facts.
also around the league, man, Falcons have signed to the 53-man roster.
Before we get into that, our next two around the NFL probably gonna deal with the Falcons. So we're gonna welcome in our special guests. But before we do that, got to get a shout out, man. Like I always do. Listen, Jason, that boy Berto on Bleacher Report. That is absolutely true. Alberto is on Bleacher Report, man. Y'all please go check out the clips, the cuts of the show. He's doing his thing now on Bleacher Report, and I'm very proud of him. Keep advancing, and he's getting better with each show. So y'all please go check him out. 95 Berto on Bleacher Report. Click on the Falcons tab, click on the community tab, and you will see Berto in there. And now, supporter, what's up, my dude? You're welcome, man. Everything we do, man, we do it for y'all, man. John Brooks said Dylan is cool. Yeah, I know, man. I got the chance to meet Dylan at training camp. He was doing the show at 92.9 The Game. Came down off the stage, gave your boy some dap, and we did our thing, man.
That's
Oblivion Empire, my boy RG ATL for life, who joined us on the show on Sunday. So thank him for coming through, man. I always appreciate the support. Chaka Zulu, man. I seen those t-shirts, Chaka Zulu, so you gonna get those t-shirts. So
nice.
They dope. Oblivion Empire, boy Justin Swisher Sweets, William Amy cooking them chicken wings, my boy Archangel, Hank Deasy, Antonio Starts, and my boy Jamal D. Trick 654 just got in here, man. What's going on? But without further ado, man, we're gonna welcome our boy Dylan Mathews, 92.9 The Game in the place.
What up, no?
What it do?
You know you got to do that introduction. You know how we roll.
What's going on, everybody? We in the building, man. What's happening? What's popping? Hey, I heard y'all talking about it while I was backstage. First place, baby. Yes, sir. We in here.
No doubt. But we were talking about the Kevin Byard trade to Philadelphia, man. Give us your quick thoughts on that.
Man, that's a heck of a trade for Philly. I mean, they just really solidified their backfield with that. Obviously, they've been dealing with some injuries, still dealing with some injuries in the backfield. When you talk about Reed Blankenship, who has really come on for them, late round pick, who has been nothing but productive since he's got an opportunity to be on the field. He's going to be coming back, I believe, this week for them. So you add him in the mix with obviously Kevin Byard. Once Bradley Roby, who they just added a couple weeks ago, comes back, the veteran DB. And then obviously with Darius Slay, James Bradbury, I mean, they have really solidified their secondary because obviously they took some hits while losing Chauncey Gardner-Johnson to free agency. So, you know, they took some, obviously, what's their slot corner's name? Avonte Maddox. They lost him to injury for the year. So they had to make some moves, and guess what they did? And obviously, most of you all know my girlfriend, she's an Eagles fan. Shout out to Simone with the sports.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Simone.
So she always is giving me the insight and whatnot. So Howie Roseman, according to her and according to the rest of what I see from Eagles fans, he's always working, always plotting, and he did his thing again. So that GM for the Philadelphia Eagles, Howie Roseman, doing his thing, and you know they still might have a move or two up their sleeve. You know, messing with Howie Roseman again, he always working. But no, when it comes to the Kevin Byard move, a very good deal. Didn't have to give up a lot. And not only do you have him for this year, but he is under contract through next year as well. So you can keep him through next year as well. So this window is still wide open for the Eagles. I don't know if they end up giving Kevin Byard a long-term contract, but it is a long-term rental at the very least for the Philadelphia Eagles. So that is a great move. High reward, low risk. So I mean, it's a great move from Philly. You can tell they are going all in once again to finish that unfinished business that they have, obviously, with the Super Bowl loss last year.
Right. And like I said, man, next year, $14.4 million, but I'm pretty sure they're going to put most of that in the signing bonus and lower that number and put that on the salary cap, because that's how they roll in the NFL. When you got contracts like that, you got to do it because you have a couple of guys coming up for new deals.
Indeed.
And what's funny, Philadelphia, they have Nolan Smith on the bench, and he was a first-round pick. So they are loaded with depth at all the positions on the defensive line. So
can you imagine that having a first-round pick as a pass rusher on the bench because your defensive rotation is that heavy? I mean, Nolan Smith would be getting hella snaps if he was in Atlanta. So it's just crazy the fact that he can be on the bench and have time to develop and not have that pressure on him. I mean, it's just amazing. And he got shout out to Nolan Smith. He got his first sack last week against the Dolphins, as a matter of fact. So shout out to him. But I mean, that's the depth they have over there on both line of scrimmages is crazy.
Right.
Definitely.
Boy, that's a good problem to have. But Josh Sweat and Hassan Reddick starting. Boy.
Hassan Reddick's a problem.
Hey, man, Simone gonna have some fun this year in the offseason. I feel it.
She sure is, man. She sure is. Hey, Smitty, she was having fun today, man, talking about she was happy the 49ers lost last night. And then I saw her last night. Win. She was hyped up, man.
Yeah, man. Simone be lit, man. Y'all go check Simone out on YouTube. She does a thing with Philadelphia Eagles content. And she's over 10,000, man. So celebrate her. She at 12,000, I think. So shout out to her, man. She's growing fast. And hey, man, when you're doing your job, man, and you love it, hey, it's no problem. But we were going to get into Chris. You go with the next round of NFL topic.
Oh yes, man. The Falcons have signed my man Laquel London to the 53-man roster, and unfortunately, they had to release a guy, and that was Eli Ankou. Now, London has played 44 snaps in the last 2 games, y'all, including 2 on special teams. And he has recorded 4 tackles and a fumble recovery. This guy, he seems hungry and can give the other guys, the older guys, a little break, as he's only 26. So what you guys think about that?
Go ahead, Dylan.
I really like Laquel London. I mean, he got his name called a lot last week. Obviously, like you said, Chris, recovered the fumble, and he was making a whole lot of tackles last week. He just was in the mix a lot against the Buccaneers, and he found some success. I mean, he's a bigger body dude, close to 300 pounds. I think he's around 290 or something like
290,
that. So,
yeah, 290.
Yeah, so I mean, he's a big dude. And he could be that guy we see maybe as a run stuffer on obvious running downs. So maybe first, second down, we see him in there. And then obviously you bring the dogs in when you get in there on third down and maybe possibly even fourth down. But Laquel London could be a very good run stopper, put him in the middle. So I really like this move for the Falcons. You got you a bona fide run stuffer to go in there in the middle. So I like it, and obviously he still has he still has to be consistent with it. He had a good week last week, but what are you gonna do against the Titans and so on and so forth. So the consistency obviously needs to be shown. But as far as a move this week goes, I really like it, especially when we talk about what we have coming up this week. We all know what Derrick Henry all about. We all know about King Henry. So just having as many big fellas and big jokers in there as you can have. When it comes to stopping the run with a team that's so run heavy like the Tennessee Titans are, that's going to be huge. So I think not only is it a good move, possibly moving forward, but it's definitely a strategic move for this week when you're going up against a team that has King Henry.
Facts, and we're gonna get into that in a little while with that preview, man, because I got a feeling he's gonna be here in discussion on topics. But our third and final round of NFL, man. Yeah, we've heard the news about the Atlanta Falcons being investigated for Bijan Robinson not ending up on the injury report. And we saw him only touch the ball about 2 times. Well, just 1 time, but he only played like 10 snaps the entire game. So them not putting him on the injury list, it kind of surprised me, because if y'all saying that he had a headache, that's still supposed to be clarified as an illness on the injury report by the team doctor. You have to report it to the NFL as a must, and we could see a fine coming down. Now, I've heard people say that Bijan might get suspended, but that's not the case, because it's not his fault that he didn't get put on the injury report. Tell me right quick what y'all think about that, and do y'all think the NFL will take action?
Go ahead, Chris.
Oh, okay. Well, shoot. Yeah. Well, honestly, this is kind of crazy for me. I mean, I don't understand why they didn't put him on the injury report, because honestly, this hurt a lot of people in different areas. It all depends on how you watch the game. Of course, for us Falcon fans, it hurt us not seeing number 7 on the field, not seeing that dynamic, missing all that against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But you also got to dive even deeper because you got some people that lost a lot of money in fantasy, lost a lot of money in betting. It's just different aspects of the game now. Let's just be honest. And with all that circulating, I'm pretty sure we had a lot of complaints. And that also got to the league as well. It's just, you can't just think about it just from a football aspect. It's a lot of different moving parts to the world of football now. So with that being said, and Bijan not having, only having a few snaps and then going out there and getting 3 meaningless yards like he did at the end of the game, I don't think it should be a fine or anything coming. I mean, I'm not too forward about how that would work, me personally. But honestly, it does raise questions on why the heck you didn't put him on there. Did he tell you like at 12:59 right before the snap or before the game was kicking off, hey man, I'm not feeling well? Like, how did it, so I understand the investigation, like how did this come about? So yeah, I mean, but
so from what I've heard and about the situation is he had been dealing with the headache since Saturday night, and so he made the team aware of what he had going on Saturday night. And they still thought he was going to be able to play. He got medicine. I'm not sure what exactly medication he got, but he did supposedly get some sort of medicine Saturday night. Sunday didn't get a lot better. Arthur Smith, made sure he was still good to go throughout the duration of the ball game. Huh? Arthur Smith made sure he was.
Go ahead. I was thinking out loud.
Yeah, he made sure he was good to go throughout the duration of the ball game when he did get those 10 snaps that SMITTY mentioned. So, I mean, I see it both ways. Like, yes, you could submit that as an illness, but at the same time, I'm thinking that the Falcons maybe thought, his headache could possibly be gone Sunday morning and he would be okay. And then too, I think Friday is when they submit their final initial injury report, and then Sunday obviously they do the game time one. So I don't know, it's real fishy. At worst I think a fine is coming, but I honestly don't expect the NFL to fine the Falcons. If they do it, I could see it, but I would find it kind of just petty by the NFL.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's a headache. How do you really define a headache? Like, how do you report a headache? And then I know he didn't play a lot, but the fact that he did play, I mean, I just would see it very petty if the NFL was to fine the Falcons for that. And like Smitty said, Desmond Ridder's not going to see any sort of suspension or anything like that because that's completely not on him at all. But to Chris, to your point, you make a good point. The reason that this, I think, is being investigated in the first place is because of how the NFL is now intertwined with the gambling world. Obviously, they have their deal with what is it, FanDuel or whoever their betting partner is. They have that partnership going on. Obviously, there is fantasy behind it as well. And Arthur Smith has already told us plenty of times that he don't give a damn about none of our fantasy teams. So I know that didn't come into question. But the point being, I think that is partially the reason that the NFL is looking into it, because Bijan has already in such a short time become such a high profile name in the NFL with betting and fantasy, like you mentioned, Chris. So I think that is a major reason, because I almost guarantee you, if this had happened to Cordell Patterson and he didn't play as much,
there you go.
Yeah, nobody would have said a word. I mean, and to that point, Cordell Patterson up until this past week hasn't played that much. So, that's part of it too. But again, I just think this is all kind of petty by the NFL, and I think this has more to do with, again, some sharks on the betting side might be a little ticked off and might be tugging at the NFL's coattails, like, hey, what's up with that? Why that happened? Go check that out.
It's realistic though, man.
It's absolutely right.
Changed.
Yeah, y'all know it's all about the bottom line, and somebody bottom line get messed up. People need answers. So I think that's really what it comes down to.
Right, and we know Bijan is one of the highest names because he was the 8th pick in the draft. And people are also watching him because a lot of people said it was a bad pick. So they're gonna find any kind of way to make a headline out of anything Bijan Robinson do.
That's a fact.
Let's get into this preview though, man. It's gonna be a good one, man, and I think it's gonna be closer than a lot of people think. And I just think, like you said, the line says Tennessee by 1, and
Yeah.
that's probably because they're at home. But if you look at what they're dealing with injuries and just made a trade, that got to mess up the locker room at some point. Because if you trade one of the best players on the team, what does that say about you as a GM? They might be finna blow it up because Derrick Henry's name is out there. Do y'all think he gets traded at the deadline before we get into the offensive side of the ball for the Falcons? Do y'all think Derrick Henry gets traded?
I think he'll get traded in the offseason. I don't think it's going to happen at the deadline. I don't think they're going to throw in the towel that much. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see Ryan Tannehill, even if Tannehill could go. I do. A part of me feels like that they might still just hold out Ryan Tannehill because, again, the writing's on the wall. They traded Kevin Byard. The team hasn't been doing great this year. They might try to find out the rest of the season what they have in maybe a Malik Willis, what they have in a Will Levis. So they might just try to figure out what direction they need to go towards for the future, looking past, the Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill era. They might try to see, okay, what are we looking like for the next 5 to 10 to 12 years? So I would not be surprised at all if we don't see Ryan Tannehill and we see either a Malik Willis or Will Levis, or, hey, maybe possibly even both. But I don't, as far as Derrick Henry goes, I don't think they're going to throw in the towel like that. But I do believe Derrick Henry does get traded in the offseason.
Chris?
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Derrick Henry, honestly, I was surprised that they didn't try to make a move on him this year. But I can understand that giving Derrick Henry his respect. And the past couple of seasons, just to me, and Dylan, you're more of an expert than me, but to me, he hasn't looked like King Henry. He just looked like Derrick. So it's just, I'm just saying, he just like Derrick. So it's just like, he's still a threat. You have to respect him and respect the fact that he is a powerful runner and everything. But and with Tannehill still dealing with that ankle, I believe, right? I think he has an ankle he's dealing with. Right. So it's a possibility he may not even start. Possibility that the Falcons may have possibility of Will Levis or Malik Willis. So I'm just saying, looking at it like this is kind of like one of those sneaky trap games that the Falcons need to be mindful of.
That's a good point.
And the Falcons need to make sure that they handle business, not take these Tennessee Titans lightly, but I believe that we can definitely run the ball against them, similar to how we did against Tampa Bay. If Bijan is healthy, of course, we'll use him in the mix as well. But I liked Tyler Algiers and CP last week running smash mouth against the Bucks. We're tying those guys out. Me and SMITTY, we had a chat, and I was telling him about halftime, it looked like the Bucks defense, as far as their front seven, was gassed. Because we were starting to kind of like get bigger runs, and then come fourth quarter, you've seen what happened. So
Yeah, Chris. Go ahead, SMITTY.
They're 14 against the run at 102 yards a game. So it's a possibility that we can run the ball pretty good on them. Just like the Bucks last week at 78 yards a game, but we ended up running for well over 100 yards on them. So we could probably beef it up this week again. Go ahead.
Yeah, and Chris, I was just gonna say, hey, that just goes to show you that much of an expert as I am, because I was thinking the exact same thing, bro. This could be a sneaky trap game for the Falcons, and the fact that you're feeling good, you got your first road win of the season, your first place in the NFC South. I don't think this will happen, but it could be a situation, where Falcons start to smell themselves a little bit, and they come into Tennessee knowing that, hey, we might not see Ryan Tannehill. They just traded Kevin Byard. The Tennessee Titans not trying to win no football games, and they come in there and smack you in the mouth, and you end up losing the game that you have no business losing. So it could be a sneaky trap game that way, but for a couple of reasons. One, Arthur Smith isn't going to admit this. He ain't going to say this in the public. He ain't going to say this on record. But we all know he want to get a win against his former team. We all know that.
This is almost like a little mini movie right here, man.
Exactly. So for that reason, he's going to make sure them boys is focused this week. And then two, Arthur Smith is just a good coach. So I don't think he's going to let these players get into that mindset of, y'all smelling themselves, because again, they haven't done anything yet. You're 4-3, your first place division. That's great. You should have blown, but there's plenty they need to work on. Because they should have blown out Tampa Bay. They had no business winning by only 3 points. They should have beat them boys by 20. So
it should have been 34-10.
Facts, exactly. So I think for those reasons, I don't think they'll come in sleepwalking. But again, there is that small possibility, Chris. So I do think that is something to watch out for.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it is definitely a trap game, man. Like I said, with Arizona coming up as well, that's another game. That could be a trap game.
Right.
We're in Arizona, and they've been playing well all season. They haven't been picking up wins, but they've been in every single game this year. That's kind of scary.
I think they may try to roll out Kyler Murray by them too.
That's a good point. Yeah, Kyle might be ready to go.
I wouldn't doubt it. But that's another story for another day. But we talk about Derrick Henry and the Falcons being pretty stout against the run. As I look at the numbers right now, the Falcons are now third in total yards a game defensively, 285, 7th against the run and 8th against the pass. So I'm sorry, 7th against the pass, 8th against the run. So as I look at their defense, man, and you look at Will Levis and Malik Willis, what do you feel like the Falcons need to do to keep those young guys, should I say, home base?
I need to keep getting, in my opinion, they need to keep getting pressure. They have done a better job at these past 2 games getting sacks. Obviously, they got 5 sacks against Taylor Heineke because that man was just holding the football forever. Baker did a little bit better of a job not holding the football, but there were times where he was holding the football for a long time too. Just patting that pill in the backfield. But all in all, that is to a credit to the Falcons secondary being so good. AJ Terrell, even though he did struggle a little bit against the Bucs this past week, him and Jeff Okudah, since Okudah's gotten healthy, he's been really, really good. I mean, we can't say how good Jeff Okudah has been. So that has turned out to be, if he stays healthy, that could turn out to be a really good pickup, an important pickup for the Atlanta Falcons. So we do have to give credit to their secondary because, again, like I just mentioned, AJ Terrell, Jeff Okudah, but also Jesse Bates, Richie Grant, DeMarco Helms. They have all been really good.
Hey, you got to give my boy D offer some props, man. That's
a fact. Playing the heck out of that slot, y'all.
A dog.
Yeah, D playing the heck out of that slot.
That the whole secondary has been good. Everybody involved in the secondary has been good this year, and that's part of the reason that the pass rush has started to get a little better because they're really starting to gel as a defense as a whole. So that's why we're starting to see more sacks. 5 sacks against the Commanders, 3 sacks against Tampa Bay last week. So I expect us to get more pressure, get some more sacks, and if you do that, obviously that's going to speed up the internal clock of any quarterback, but especially young guys like Malik Willis and Will Levis. So if you can put some pressure on those guys, you can get them to throw you the football. We've already seen what Jesse Bates is capable of against the rookie quarterback, baiting them into some bad throws, picking off Bryce Young twice in obviously the opening game, getting CJ Stroud to have some turnover-worthy plays as well when they played the Texans. So if you can get pressure on them boys, and again, get them to speed up their internal clock a little bit, make some bad decisions, you can get some turnovers, get some interceptions. So as long as they get pressure on these young quarterbacks, I think they'll have success.
Man, I'm telling you, that's the truth right there. Dylan, I like the way you think, man. I like the way you think. Yeah, man. Hey, let's tell you something about this Falcon defense. They definitely have been providing pressure. They've been getting more and more pressure. They're getting closer and closer to home, and now it's starting to translate into some real deal sacks. Now, the Falcons, 8 sacks in the last 2 games, that's unheard of. Wait a minute. Yes, it is, because it happened in 2017 when Atlanta had 9 sacks in 2 games, 6 against Dallas, 3 against the Seahawks. So it's happened before. So this is a great thing for Atlanta. And guess what? The offensive line for the Tennessee Titans, they will give up a sack or 2. They definitely will. So going against young guys, keep them uncomfortable, keep the pressure coming at them, keep them off their spots, and get after these guys, man. Get them on the ground early so they can be, confused and definitely not confident later on in the game, man.
Hey, I see you, Chris. Drop the numbers on them, Chris. Drop the numbers on them.
Man, I'm just trying to do my part, my brother. I'm just trying to do my part.
Hey, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Chris, the human Google machine. So
that's right. Ask Chris. We don't need Google. What he do, man. We just need Chris. He got all the info.
Trust me, it's all.
My boy John Higgins said, man, he recognized your voice from 92.9 The Game. Yeah, that's Dylan from 92.9 The Game, man. Like I told y'all, when I popped up on him at training camp, he was doing a live show at the moment. So He's always working, man. Always working. I saw him out there on the field too. He was trying to out there trying to catch passes, but it didn't work out.
They wouldn't throw me the ball, man. I said I'm open. They wouldn't throw it to me though. But it's all good. I'll just film.
But you talk about these young
what y'all
quarterbacks.
think though? Oh, my bad, Smitty.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just about to ask what y'all think though about Tennessee, about they're giving up over 340 yards per game, and we are, it's like Smitty said before, over 102 are on the ground. Like this team, you can pass on them, right? Like you really can move the ball on this team. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe they're giving up 7.4 yards per pass.
Absolutely.
So that's crazy, man. That's Drake London. Let's get Drake London and Kyle Pitts involved early. That's right. Sounds like the man. Go ahead and get your studs active real early. Oh, and also let's get some Van Jefferson and maybe some Kadero Hodge a little bit more into this.
You read my mind, brother, because
that's right.
I was just about to go there with Kevin Byard not back there anymore. Expect the Falcons to take a lot of deep shots, man. And when they take those deep shots, they start hitting. Guess what? The run game gonna pick up. So as I think about it, this could be the perfect game, like I said, to catapult this team mindset, because you win last week by 3 points, barely beating the Bucks. Now you get a chance to redeem yourself against a team that's losing a lot, against a coach that's probably got one foot out the door, if I'm being realistic about it. So the locker room might not even be the same, because this could be the perfect game. A team that is down, a team that's giving up a lot of yards on defense, even though they got an all-pro tackle in the middle. I could see one of these receivers going well over 150 yards. Easy.
And to keep building off y'all point about the passing game, this is also too could be a game where not only do you take it to the Tennessee Titans in the passing game and get right yourselves in the passing game, but show the rest of the league, show the rest of your opponents that you are willing to throw the football, because we've seen the past couple of weeks, 2 out of the past 3 weeks, Desmond Ridder has been top 5 in passing for that week, because week 5 he was number 3. I think week 6 he was number 5. This past week he was a little bit lower on the totem pole, but he still threw for 250 yards, I believe. So this is another game to show the opposing defense that you're going to go against that you have to respect our passing game, because so far, what have we seen? We've seen a lot of loaded boxes, a lot of teams playing the run, and then that's opened up in the passing game. That's why Desmond Ridder has been able to put up the passing numbers that he has these past few weeks. So again, if you come out and have a good passing performance this week, if you're the Atlanta Falcons offense, Desmond Ridder, throws a couple of touchdown passes, completes a couple of deep shots, doesn't have any interceptions, holds on to the ball a little bit better as well, too. If you have that performance, then you start to show opposing defenses that not only are we going to run the ball on you, we're going to be physical, we're going to hit you in the mouth, but if you leave it up to us, and if you leave the passing game open, we're going to slice and dice you in the passing game as well. So this is also an opportunity with the Tennessee Titans passing defense that's not very good, to show the rest of the league that, hey, we can throw the ball just as well as we can run the ball. So maybe going forward, these defenses have to start playing a little bit more balanced against us, and that just opens up everything in the offense. So I definitely think, to y'all's point, that's another reason why we should have a good pass performance, and why it's important for us to have a good
Desmond got to earn his respect.
Right, and to your point, I think he's threw for almost 900 yards the last 3 weeks. That's top 3 in the league.
886, guys. 886. He's close.
886.
75 of 109 for 68.8%. 886. 3 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing, 3 fumbles, 3 interceptions, sacked 4 times. One of them being a sack fumble that was technically not his fault. Caleb McGarry got blown up by Barrett. So that was one thing that happened.
One thing I like about what the Falcons are starting to do in the pass game, they're not eyeing one receiver. They're spreading the ball around. And with this many weapons, you definitely have to do that. So whomever has the hot hands may get most of the catches, but Desmond really is starting to go through progressions better. He's starting to anticipate throws. You saw it with the Kyle Pitts throw late in the game against Tampa. He anticipated that throw and knew Kyle Pitts was going to be in that spot. Laid it right over in the middle, hit that pass, and that was a key point in the game. Drove us down the field for the victory. So spreading the ball out is going to be big for Atlanta. And I think this week Bijan Robinson get back to being Bijan Robinson, because they're going to need that speed against a strong Tennessee Titans front seven. So look for Bijan to bounce back this week. if he doesn't have that headache from hanging out with Uncle Eugene in Miami. I mean,
no, man. You know, Unc gonna get you in trouble.
All right.
I got another
had
thing for
Bijan
you
on
guys.
too many
Though.
Colt 40s, man. He had Bijan on the Colt 40s, man. Is
man,
up, bro.
sounded like he an OE type of person. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you guys this though, man. How you guys feeling about trying to keep this streak going though? This opening drive touchdown streak though.
Yeah.
That
Two
was
straight, right?
lovely.
2 straight.
To keep that right there going, because you know before it was looking very, very scarce for us, but I want to keep that streak going as far as opening drive, ending it with points, preferably touchdowns. So I feel like that's going to be very key as well.
I definitely agree with that, man. And what I would like to see, the last 2 times they went down the field, drove and hit on their first drive. What I would like to see for them is keep building on that momentum. If you see something working, just keep using it. It seems like after that first drive, they started going back into the playbook, trying to do this and trying to do that. Stick with what works. If you stick with what works, I think you can put up points a little bit faster, because if they jump out in front against Tennessee, I think it's going to be hard for Tennessee to catch up. And we all know if we get in front, we're going to run the ball down their throat even more. So clock management is going to be key in this game. Field position is going to be key in this game. And even though they had the injuries, Tennessee always plays well at home. They're undefeated and 0-4 on the road. So that's just something to keep an eye on, man.
To build off both of y'all, build off both of y'all points too, Chris, you talking about the opening drive, and Smitty, you talking about the running game. Both those are going to be very important, because one, obviously, we want to see the Falcons keep up that streak of opening drive touchdowns, 2 straight now, trying to make it 3. You know what I'm saying? And then also, to Smitty's point, not only do we want to be able to run the ball and control the clock, that's actually what Tennessee would want to do too. That's the ideal scenario for them, having success running the ball with Derrick Henry, controlling the clock. So this could be a game with 2 teams that want to run the football. Obviously, we know the Falcons can pass footballs. Yet to be seen with the Tennessee Titans. But we know that this game could be a game where there are limited possessions because of how both teams could potentially run the football. So offensive possessions might be scarce. So you don't know how many times you might be able to touch it on Sunday. So that just goes back to your point, making sure you take advantage of every single drive you get, including the opening drive. And Smitty, like you said, sticking with what works. And because, you know, if you come out open the drive, okay, boom, you get a touchdown, you looking good, but then you try to get too cute, you go away from what's working, then you go, 3 and out 2 drives, and Tennessee might get a couple of points on you. Then you don't know how many more times you're going to touch the ball, and then you start to get in trouble. So that's why both of the points that you guys brought up are so important, because with this type of game, you don't know exactly how many touches you're going to get, because both these teams like to run the football.
Right, exactly. Shout out to Larry Dixon, right quick. Shout out to Larry Dixon. I was on his show earlier, man. So y'all please go check it out. We did a Tampa recap. He's doing a Dixon Ray. What he does, he shows love to pages. Matt Hawkins, what's good, man? He's part of the Dixon Ray as well. Shout out to y'all, man. We appreciate y'all stopping through. My boy Uncle Steve Lounge, he got a question for you.
What up,
He said, what up, my guys? Titans bottom line of the league. Titans bottom of the league in offense and middle of the pack in defense. I'm calling my shot. Falcons scored 30 points this week. We actually get to kneel down at the end of the game.
Ooh, not victory
formation. Wait to see that victory formation.
Ooh, not the victory formation.
I'll keep it real, man. One thing about he will go all the way out, man.
That's right. I hope he's right, too. I want to see a 30 burger.
I want to see more than that, to be honest, because I feel like if you can run up enough points this game, that gives you confidence mentally going forward that you can score anybody. So that's a good thing, man.
Guess what, family? It's one way that we can do that. The Falcons got to put together a complete game. We have not put together a complete game yet this season. So we have to put together a complete game on offense, especially because we know the defense on the way. So, but we got to put it together on offense. Ritter has got to play mistake-free football. I believe if he can do that, we can talk about these 30 and 40 burgers and have another victory Monday, as I'm getting very accustomed to these. So
Right.
yeah, man, I enjoy these Victory Mondays. You know, dinner tastes better on Sunday night and breakfast tastes better on Monday a.m. So it's
Ain't that the
I know
truth?
that's the truth. That is the truth right there.
yeah,
But no,
breakfast-
I'm right
breakfast
there
take-
with you, Chris. I'm right there with you, man. Like you said, we need a complete football game. The defense to me has been there all season. I literally don't really have any complaints about the defense. Even when they've been put in not great situations, they've still been able to either hold teams to a field goal or get a big takeaway or a big stop or what have you. So I really have no complaints about the defense. Defense really been here all season. To your point, it's about the offense and Desmond Ridder playing mistake-free football. Hopefully you got he's going to throw more interceptions. I mean, that's just what happens. The quarterback's throwing interceptions.
that's quarterback.
That's what it is. But limiting those. And then hopefully you got all your fumbles out the way last week. So hopefully we won't see no more fumbles either. Now, I will say this. I don't think people realize that you can say he could have tucked the ball. He should have felt the pressure. And I don't necessarily disagree with those points. But when you're going back to throw the ball like he was on that strip sack, there's not much you could do at that point. You know, if somebody comes in and hits you, you're going to fumble the football the way he was positioned. And then the more and more I look at that, the snap mishap, the more I'm starting to think that was on Drew Dalman. I don't think that was a very good snap.
Absolutely.
Now, Desmond Ridder might have to follow him a little bit longer because you're on the 1 yard.
Yeah, that's what
line.
I was about to say. Yeah, you got to stay up a little bit closer.
You can see it both
on
ways.
The line of scrimmage. Yeah, definitely.
You could. I see it both ways, but I'm not putting 100% blame on that fumble either. Now, obviously, the one in the end zone, you got to put in your right hand, and you got to run through the line and not ease up. You got to feel that pressure. You got to feel Antoine Winfield coming in behind you too. So that last one, there's no debate, and that's all on him. But either way it goes, hold on to the football. Let's not fumble the football. Hopefully, he got most of his interceptions out the way. Hopefully, he got most of his fumbles out the way. He is still learning. Trammell is right. So he is still learning. We do still have to have some patience, but mistake-free football, to Chris's point, is definitely the key. If we have a game where Desmond just goes out, does his thing, has a touchdown pass or two, throws for, anywhere from 200, 300 yards, we get the running game going, we going to be good. And just like Unc said, we gonna be seeing a 30 burger, maybe even a 40 burger and a kneel down. So if we can do all those things, we'll be all right.
It would be perfect timing for this game. It'd be perfect timing, guys, because these guys are looking depleted. Yeah, they're looking depleted. They selling everything like a yard sale. It's the perfect time for us to put a complete game together, make a statement, not just to the league, but also to ourselves on the road. You know what I'm saying as well, man. Hey, I would love that. It's
weird to say that this game feels like it should be a get-right game because the Falcons won last week. Usually you associate a get-right game with a game that you're trying to bounce back from a loss. But it almost feels like this should be a get-right game for the Falcons in the sense of it was real sloppy last week. You got the win, but it was still very sloppy. You should have blown out the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So this feels like a get-right game for the Falcons. Even though you won last week, this should be a get-right game in the fact of you should just come in there and put foots in the Tennessee Titans. You should just blow them out, kick them in the mouth, and not even leave a shred of doubt on Sunday.
And the way the NFL messing with Arthur Smith, if I'm Arthur Smith, I run up the score because if I'm pissed off on the inside, I'm putting up any amount of points I can. And Bijan Robinson, who played with a headache this week, if you see the way they're dogging you in the media about we think it was something outside of that. Bijan might run crazy this week. Who knows? He may run for 200 yards because one thing about it, if someone runs angry, they can hurt you very quick. But we talked about Derrick Henry a little bit earlier. So let's switch it over to the defensive side of the ball. This defense, man, they're doing something that I haven't seen since the Super Bowl season. And to be honest with y'all, man, I like this team more than I did the Super Bowl team. Yeah, we had Julio Jones, we had Matt Ryan. But the talent that we have on the defensive side of the ball trumps all of that. Because if they get this offense going, this offense can put up as many points, as many yards as that 2016 team. But the defense can shut down anybody. Now, I know Philadelphia is making moves, but Atlanta can stick with that team because of their defense and because of their run game. If they can control the clock against a team like Philadelphia, who's to say this team cannot be a deep playoff run Super Bowl type team? So
Hold up, Smitty. Don't talk too loud. Simone,
Talk too
here,
loud.
Don't talk too loud. Simone
Oh,
might
my
hear.
bad, my bad. My bad. I don't want you to be sleeping on the
Nah,
sofa.
Yeah, I'm about to say that man.
I'm just playing with you.
Go home tonight.
But yeah, man.
No reason.
This front seven, man. Now we still have that problem at linebacker. I'm not gonna lie about that. Nathan Lamb has filled in well. Can't wait to see what they're gonna do with Troy Anderson when he comes back next year.
Right.
But the way this pass rush is collapsed the pocket, shot the gaps, the way Ryan Nielsen is calling defensive plays. This game, what do y'all see? How do you think Nielsen will approach this game, knowing that he has a big running back like Derrick Henry that he has to stop?
To me, I think, and because I think they started doing it a little bit last week against Tampa Bay. They started using some fronts where it was a little bit I don't know if it was a complete bear front, but it was a little bit like a bear front where they were using 5 defensive linemen. So
4 to 6 defense.
Yeah. So I think we could start to see. I think we could see a little bit more of that on Sunday as well, using more of that. Obviously, Laquel London getting signed to the active roster. I expect him to be busy on Sunday, and I just expect us to. I'm not gonna say we commit a whole I don't know if we're gonna go a complete loaded box, but I do think we might. We might drop down. Jesse Bates might be dropped down in the box a couple of more times than often than we're seeing him used to. So I think definitely we're going to lean towards stopping the run until they show us they can pass, at least at the beginning of the game. But I do expect to see maybe a lot of more, like you said, Smitty, some 4-6 fronts to start the game. And they're going to kind of do what defenses have done to us so far. Prove to us that you're willing to pass the ball and prove to us that you can throw the football. And then if they get to third downs, Ryan Nielsen going to send them dogs, man. Yeah. Ryan Nielsen sending them dogs. I'm telling you. Lorenzo Carter, he's going to get active. Bud Dupree on the edge, he's going to get active. Man, so if they get in obvious third down situations, they're going to heat up, especially if Tannehill's not in there. If Malik Willis or Will Levis are in there, they're definitely going to try and heat them up and send a lot of creative blitz packages on third down. So I do expect that.
Right, and you to look at the Titans, man, they're 30th in the league and with the pass, 173 yards a game. That's very pedestrian. So I expect Ryan Nielsen to pin them ears back and just bring the house. Like you said, we could see a lot more than 46 defense. But what I would like to see, Ryan Nielsen and Jerry Gray dial up blitzes with those defensive backs as well. Because I don't think the Tennessee Titans can stop the speed in the secondary when it comes to blitzing. So I would love to see some type of zone blitz with the defensive backs. I would love to see them do that against Tennessee. But Chris, what you think, man, with this defense?
I was going to say, don't be surprised if we see some more of maybe, let's say, DeMarco Helms a little bit. You know, him last week, so I wouldn't be surprised if he is that safety that we're talking about to get sent, coming in like a heat-seeking missile and just coming in and taking out the quarterback. These are some young guys, so you want to confuse them as much as possible, sending different packages at them. And like you said, man, they're pedestrian on offense as far as passing goes. So we know they want to run the ball. Stop that run, make them even more one-dimensional. Make them one-dimensional early so you can make it easy for your pass rush, man. Let them guys, like you said, pin your ears back. And I don't want to see Calais Campbell coming at me all game and having Grady Jarrett, who is turning up the juice, by the way. Grady Jarrett is getting stronger. He's getting faster as the season is going on. It's almost like, same thing for Calais. He's looking more fresh in the past 2 games, but that comes with being able to take a few snaps off. Right. I believe that, hey, man, like you guys were saying about the 4-6 fronts, you're definitely going to see that. I believe Helms are going to be used. Definitely going to see some Bates in there, maybe a little Richie Grant as well, just rotating different guys.
This is one person that I think we will see a lot on Sunday, because this is the type of game that they will need. Y'all saw he almost had that sack against Baker Mayfield. But that's a learning.
All he had to do was follow.
Yeah, man. He whipped on that one. He whipped on that one hard.
Yeah, so you'll see a lot of.
He gonna always know that he ain't gonna whiff the next one. The next one he gonna run through and watch.
And that the big fronts is something that you will see this week, definitely with a guy like Derrick Henry in the backfield. So Zach Harrison is one of those guys that you would definitely see a lot of going forward. And I think he's slowly working him into the rotation. He's getting more and more comfortable with playing on this defensive line. Because, like you said, with Grady Jarrett, man, Grady Jarrett, when he don't have a lot of pressure on his shoulders, he can dominate. And we saw it.
He's such a
And
game record.
That hit that he put on, I think that was Rashad White. He almost knocked.
Oh yeah.
So
man, it was a play out there. Grady didn't have no helmet on. Still in pursuit.
Still getting
that.
So I mean, so he hungry, man, and he know he has the talent up front to be able to play his game. So that is going to be a positive.
I got a question for you. What do you guys believe the secondary, the way that they have been playing and it's kind of gelling together, and the fact that we haven't been giving up a lot of yards? We are top 10 in pass defense and everything like that. Do you believe that's the reason why we haven't seen a guy like Clark Phillips III yet? Because he's been a healthy scratch week after week, and they've been saying that they want to get him involved, but it seems like there's no place for him right now because maybe the defense secondary is gelling.
Yeah, exactly. I think with the way, again, Jeff Okudah has come along, I think Clark Phillips definitely could be a long-term answer if they don't end up keeping Jeff Okudah for sure, and maybe a guy like D'Alford too. But I think with how Jeff Okudah has played, the way, as Smitty talked about earlier, D'Alford has been playing lights out. Richie Grant as well, and Clark Phillips obviously more of a slot corner. So this more so pertains to the way D'Alford has been playing. But yeah, just the way the whole secondary, like you said, Chris, has gelled. I think that's why he's been a healthy scratch, just because they don't want to mess up the mojo back there, man. If it ain't broke, you ain't gotta fix it.
It ain't broke.
Right. And you got to think about it too. The reason why they drafted Clark Phillips, I think, was a security blanket to Jeff Okudah. But he's been healthy this long, and he's getting into Jeff Okudah at Ohio State. So trust me, when Clark Phillips does get out there on the field, it's going to be for great reason. And that's probably going to be if they start running dime defense, which I don't expect them to do. So I think he was more of a safety blanket more than anything. But don't be surprised if he finds a way to hit the field at some point this season, depending on who we play. We play a pass every team. Say like if we play Kansas City, he would definitely get playing time.
Or when we play Minnesota later on in the year, obviously that's pretty pass team. So.
That's about 2 weeks away. When we play a pass every team, we probably see Clark Phillips. But you cannot knock D'Alford. You can't take him off the field because he's making plays at every single turn.
All over the place. Almost got him a pick last week.
Sure did. Did.
But since we're talking about these playmakers, give me y'all X factor for the game.
X factor for the game.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Who I want to roll with this week?
As far as the X factor goes, that's a tough one. I'm going to have to say, you know what? Smitty, I'm gonna go to a point that you was talking about earlier. Here's some more deep balls. Let's go with Van Jefferson as my X factor. He's had what, two weeks now? I'm sorry,
I hate you. I hate you. You stole my pick, man. Come on.
Great minds think alike, Smitty. But no, you made a great point earlier. I mean, he's now had 2 weeks in the offense. We've seen Desmurder try to hit him. He hasn't quite been able to connect on that deep shot yet. And I did see somebody in the comments earlier talking about Scotty Miller use his speed more. Maybe that's somebody they could go to. We did see them hit Scotty Miller on a deep shot. What's going on, everybody? They know the vibes, but yeah. So Van Jefferson could be a guy that it could be a huge X factor because again, we talked about earlier how this is not a very good pass defense, and if they're going to be playing the run, there's going to be chances where you could take those shots. And Van Jefferson, that's exactly why we got him, a dude who could take the top off the defense, stretch those guys in the backfield, stretch out that defense. If we can hit a deep shot with Van Jefferson, because there probably will be opportunities for him to be open and hit that deep shot. So if we can hit that this week, that will be huge. So, yes, Minnie, I'm sorry. I might have to steal your thunder. I might have to go with Van Jefferson as my X factor.
I hate you right now.
Yeah, I like the Van Jefferson thing. We do need to get him involved, like I was saying earlier. Him and Hodge, you're gonna get him involved, get those guys more involved this week. And God, RJ,
Hey,
Golly.
RJ Bowl, man. Hey,
No,
one thing about
man.
RJ, he gonna
man,
he
ball
gonna
from
take them shot
358.
downfield.
But it's crazy
if
because
Desmond Ritter throw for 350 next week, man, I don't want to hear no more complaints about Desmond Ritter.
Nope.
For real.
Seriously.
Nope.
But it's crazy.
Go ahead, Chris.
It's crazy because I actually was going to go with Desmond Ritter this week, going back to the point that I was making, mistake-free football.
Yeah.
That's what I need to see from you. Mistake-free football. No interceptions, no fumbles, no trips, no skips, no dips. You know what I'm saying? I just need just straight execution from the play caller, Arthur Smith, and I also need execution from the quarterback, the general, the most important position on the field. I need more than just competence. I need to see some kind of it factor, some prolific ability, man, to be able to protect that ball against this Tennessee Titans secondary and their front seven. I need you, Desmond. We need to see what it is right now, Desmond. We need something more consistent. We need, the chemistry with the guys. Get Kyle Pitts involved early. Get Drake Blunden the ball, who is definitely turned into a bona fide number one for the Falcons. So this is what you have to do. Be accurate. Take the easy throws. Don't be trying to do too much. Don't what else I need you to do? Oh, protect the ball on your rushes. Don't get too cocky. If you get to the end zone, run all the way through it like you're trying to run to the tunnel to the locker room. I need you to do that. Don't be out here messing, getting too cocky against these NFL professionals who will embarrass you like Antoine Winfield did last week. Let's go. He's headstrong. I just need him to continue to put that on the field. I need him to continue to be confident. He needs help, of course, from the offensive line. Drew Dahlman, come on, snap the ball right. Caleb McGarry, get yourself together, move your feet. But Ritter, the quarterback, I need him to show us some it factor. I need him to be the X factor in this game. Protect the ball, and let's go ahead and get this blowout, man, because we already were supposed to have one last week. So let's get it this week, okay? Because it's right there.
And real quick too, y'all. We were talking about Bijan earlier and how he might have a big game. If it feels like, obviously not last week because he didn't play a whole lot, but it feels like ever since Bijan has started, he's been getting this close to getting that big breakaway run.
Yeah,
we haven't seen it yet where he's able to hit top speed, and we really see him to get to show off that speed and gets that big breakaway run. 50, 40, 60-yard touchdown, whatever it is. Maybe this is the week where he get that done. Maybe this is the week where he get that done.
Hey, man, he's only like one block away from breaking 70 yards.
That's fact.
Yep. And you stole my wide receiver. You went quarterback, but I'm gonna go quarterback of the defense in Nate Lamb, and I think he's gonna have to be the X factor because as I look at it, man, Derrick Henry's still one of the top running backs in the league. No matter if you think he's losing a step or not, Nate Lamb is the one who's gonna have to spy on him. When he goes out for pass, Nate Lamb is going to have to follow him. When he runs the ball, Nate Lamb is going to have to be there. He's going to have to hit those A and B gaps strong. He's going to have to set the edge. So Nate Lamb and the way he's been playing all season, I think he's going to be up for the task. So if Derrick Henry brings his A game, I think Nathan Lamb is going to match that energy the way he's been playing and the way this Falcons defense has been playing. So Nathan Lamb is going to be my X factor. And I see a couple of X factors in the chat, and it's very good ones at that. But John Higgins got a question. Hey guys, we got to find a way to keep our defensive coordinator before we can worry about anything else. He's absolutely correct.
He is. I mean, Ryan Nielsen is he's shown to be obviously a very good defensive coordinator, and if the Falcons continue to have success, the first thing you start to lose them coordinators, their head coaching job. So, I see the Falcons starting going in the right direction as they continue to ascend. Ryan Nielsen could be a target of a lot of teams. So I do not doubt that, we definitely got to find a way to keep him. But I think that's something we worry about maybe 2 years from now. I don't think that's something that we have to worry about real soon, but maybe 2-3 years down the line, I think that is something we definitely have to worry about and have to think about. But as of right now, I think we're okay. But to Henry's point, Jonnu Smith, he's definitely an X factor because Desmond Ritter has an obvious connection with Jonnu Smith, and I mean he has been he's had some big games already. He hasn't quite been able to get in the end zone as much as it seems like he should. So maybe this is the week where he really breaks out and not only has a big game, yardage wise, and makes some big catches, but maybe he gets on the board with some touchdowns as well.
Facts. I like Jesse Bates this week too. He's one of those guys. He can bait the young quarterbacks into throwing those passes. He done the first 2 games. So I can see him get back on the interception trail this week. And I think he's having an all-pro season already. But Jesse Bates definitely is one. Jonathan Smith is definitely one. D. Lawton, I agree. Nathan Landman becoming a household name. We all know who he is now.
All over the place, week after week.
Millie Mills said, my X factor will be Bud Dupree and Calais. They're going to try and run Henry right at them, and they will. So, like I said with Nate Landman, you got to say the same thing with Bud Dupree. The last couple of weeks, he has been balling.
He's been balling.
Setting the edge, getting pressures, playing very tough in the run game. And that game, when he got a sack and a half, he looked like the Bud Dupree of 2017. So if they can keep him healthy, he's going to be one of those guys, man, that is probably going to be sneaky good to lead this team in sacks. But we got through the X factors, great X factors. Let's get a prediction going. What's y'all prediction for this game?
Prediction. I'm going to go. Okay, we're tying in my X factor into this game. If everything goes right, mistake-free football, I'm going to say 36-17 Falcons.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Again, tying it all into my X factor, mistake-free, and everything like that. Us taking care of business. That's where I'm at with it. Over 30 points. 36-17.
I'm gonna go with right at 30 points. I'm gonna say 30-13 Falcons. I like that score. 30-13 Falcons. We still play mistake-free football. Again, the possession's still a little bit limited because of the way these teams are gonna end up running the football. And again, with the game being, I think the game's going to be in hand really towards midway, maybe even early part of the fourth quarter. We won't have to sweat this one out. We won't have to have, the heart attacks and the fast heartbeats like we've had in past weeks, especially last week. So I think this one's going to be 30-13 Falcons.
I agree with y'all, man. Definitely going to be a blowout, man, because they had those 2 young quarterbacks and they're trying to find their way. And they're going to put too much pressure on Derrick Henry to carry the team. He's done it in the past, but he had a company quarterback to help him. So I think that's going to be the difference. Like I said, the Falcon defense going to pin their ears back and come after those guys. And they may cause some turnovers with those quarterbacks, whether it's via fumble or, making them pressure them into throwing interceptions. So I'm going to go 27-10 Falcons. And this game, man, I think it catapults the Falcons mindset wise and team wise to another level. So I'm going 27-10 Falcons. Y'all throw y'all predictions out there. I got to give a shout out to
X Factors, good prediction. Hey, what is going on, brother mans?
What's up, Falcon Mind?
I got to give a shout out to Mike and John out of your Falcon Mind. They did their show last night, man, and they gave me a big shout out. So thank you for always supporting, man. I truly appreciate it. Trust me, you don't know how humbling that is for somebody to say the things that you said, because one thing about me, I try to help everybody, man. There's just always been me. And you have to help people in this business, because 9 times out of 10, you're going to need somebody's support to get to where you want to be in this business. So you got to keep that same mindset as to helping people, being there when they need you to be there. Really, that's just life, man. That's the way my grandparents raised me, man, to always help people, man. That's where I get it from, man. So trust me, bro, you just don't know how much that meant to me to hear that. Now, I hear people tell me that all the time, but you broke it down as to why you feel that way. So, hey, man, one thing about me, I'm going to just keep on being me and, keep on being the good guy that I am. But Mike and John, I thank y'all, man.
Yeah, man.
But, man,
go ahead. Over there. No, I was just saying, good content over there, man. Shout out to those guys, man.
We got some predictions. Trick 654 said 30-17.
Okay.
Shaka Zulu
Like
24-3.
I like that
Okay.
too. Hey, I like that too.
D. Lawton said he gonna spot rid of 2 turnovers, but we will get the dub 23-13.
Man, I'm gonna call
See,
it.
that's leaving points on the board again.
Game. There's gonna be
right.
free
That's
game
leaving
against
points
Ravens.
on the board. I just counted 2 touchdowns off of those 2 turnovers.
Tremel says 28-9. He says a shutout. So that's pretty
like
cool.
it.
Hey, that'll be
Cheap tickets turnaround trip. Right on time. 11:31, 11:31, max 24 at the least. Times 14 max, 6 at the least. So he taking 31-14, so I can roll with that.
Yeah,
I'm with it.
I can even do 31.
My boy Ghost Pepper said, don't know if this was already said, but the Giants may utilize 2 quarterbacks against the Falcons. And Ryan Tannehill can't play according to Mike Vrabel. Yeah, it's gonna be both of those guys, man. But I see Malik Willis playing most because he has 1 year more experience.
Yeah.
That's how it is. But before we get out of here, man, final thoughts from both of y'all.
Well, real quick to what Ghost Pepper said, shoot, if they play 2 quarterbacks, bring them on. I ain't scared of no young QBs. Man, that's gonna get both of them, gonna get interceptions off both of them boys. Bring them on. Bring on Will Levis, bring on Malik Willis. I ain't scared of near one. So shoot, if they, hey, y'all know the old school rule. If you got 2 QBs, you ain't got 1. So bring them on.
Go.
Right. Facts. That's old school.
Hey,
go ahead, Chris. Give me your final thoughts,
hey,
my brother.
man, whether it's Malik Willis or Will Levis, man, it doesn't matter to me. We need this win. Falcons need this significant statement win on the road. We need to make some noise, not only locally, but nationally. Let these folks know we are on the way for a home playoff game, whether they like it or not. Go ahead, kick folks in the chest, punch folks in the mouth, headbutt people in the nose. I don't care, man. Let's get this win this Sunday.
Facts. My boy Zigzag said AJ gets his first pick.
Man, I said he was going to get 4 this year. He's behind schedule.
Man, he still got a long way to go, bro. Trust me, he still got a long way to go.
Yeah.
Falcons 32-21 says my boy John Higgins. But, man, look, hey, Dylan, I want to thank you, man, for coming through, man. Always showing support to the sports machine.
Hey, it's no problem, man. It's no problem. You already know. Anytime you hit me up, Smitty, I'm gonna do my best to come through for you. So it was a pleasure, and an honor for y'all having me on this evening, man. I appreciate y'all letting me rock out with y'all for a little while. And anytime you wanna do it, man, just give me
have you back on in a couple of weeks, man.
Oh yeah,
we're gonna have a big show doing it. We got a big show during the bye week.
Oh yeah,
we got a big show during the bye week.
Content.
Oh yeah,
so look back. Yeah, so look for that call in a couple of weeks when the bye week comes, because we're gonna do a big show for bye week. So and we're gonna have some former Falcons on the show. So y'all just
there you go.
Yeah.
Hey, and real quick, I do want to say this too. Obviously, Smitty, you and I already had a relationship, but Chris, this is my first time rocking out with you, bro. Pleasure to meet you. Keep doing your thing as well, man. You a wealth of knowledge just like Smitty, so it was a pleasure rocking out with you as well. And I already know we're gonna collab some more in the future as well too. So man, it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure rocking out with you, meeting you, and getting to know you as well, and talking some birds with you, bro.
Oh man, I really appreciate that. That's love right there. That's everything for me right there, man. I'm actually still a student in sportscasting and everything, so all this is just reps for me. I'm just trying to do the best. I'm doing the best that I can, and just better and better every time. That's what it's all about. Just to get better.
Oh, yeah, he don't got smooth with them words, man.
I'm about to say you smooth with it, man. You seem like a wild old vet to me. So keep it going, brother. Keep it going. You doing your thing, bro.
Very, very humbly appreciate that. I swear to God.
Hey, my boy Shaka say, Dylan, you a lifesaver. He was a truck driver. He said them 5 a.m. truck routes. He said he kept you on the radio, man. So that's my boy Shaka Zulu.
Hey, Shaka Zulu, I appreciate you tapping in, man. Always stay tapped in. And just so everybody know, you can catch me on, again, Atlanta Sports Radio 9200 Game, 5 a.m. to 6 a.m., Monday through Friday, every single day. So y'all tap into the hometown take as well. And again, tap into to these guys right here. Smitty the Sports Machine, been doing it since I became a content creator and all that. Smitty been doing this, man, for a long time. And obviously my guy Chris getting active as well. So y'all tap in with both of them, man. And I appreciate y'all showing me love as well. So appreciate y'all.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you coming through. Tell Miss Simone, we play Philadelphia. She got to jump in the studio with you.
That's a fact. You know, she know if we end up getting Philly in the postseason, whatever this year, it's on like Donkey Kong.
Yeah. Hey, just make sure you sleep in the living room that night before.
Yeah. It might have to be like that, Smitty. No cap, it might have to be like that.
Yeah, because frying pans and everything gonna be flying across the house. So
right. Especially if we mess around and win too. If we mess around and win. Oh yeah, I'm Smitty. I might be calling you. For an extra bed.
Man, hotel room or something.
Exactly. I might be trying to stay at Hotel Smitty or Hotel Chris.
Hey, so I ain't gonna lie to you. It ain't too much accommodation over here, brother. I ain't gonna lie to you.
It's all good.
So I think you might sleep in the car and hide.
Yeah, right. I might have to
crank the car. Right.
I hope it ain't cold. You know, you got to keep the car running with that heat on. So I hope.
Right. Facts.
We're gonna hope for the best before our man Dylan, man. Appreciate you coming through, brother.
Appreciate y'all having me, man.
Man, this has been a great show, man. We want to thank Dylan for stopping through, man. But as always, man, please go out there and support your local Falcon content creators, man, because just like I put in hard work, they do the same thing from A1 Forever. Dylan Mathews, you can check him out on YouTube. Uncle Steve's Lounge, Big Low Country, 95 North Sports Machine. 95 North Falcons Talk Show. My main man, my right-hand man, Alberto. So, yeah, we have a lot of content creators out here, man, doing their thing. So please go support them. And I will start back putting the links in, but I'm going to tell y'all because, you know, a lot of people don't know, but I got demonetized. That's why y'all haven't been able to donate. I'm working on it to get it back, but if, you know, I have to serve out suspension, I'm still going to do my show because I do it for y'all. It ain't about money. I do it for y'all. But
free Smitty.
Again, man, thank y'all for coming through, man, and thank y'all in the chat, man, for always keeping us lifted, keeping us with the great comments to help, you know, put more content into this show. We always want to check the vibe of the fan base to see where their mind is at, because sometimes and a lot of times y'all give great points as to what's going on with the Falcons. So again, I appreciate y'all as always. My boy Alberto will be back next week, next Tuesday. He will be back in the house, man. And this Sunday, man, y'all know the post-game show come on directly after the Falcons game. So y'all join us post-game because, hey, man, y'all just come through, open up the chat, talk to the fans because that's what we do. And we just like to have fun, man, at the end of the day. But for my boy Chris, my boy Dylan, man, he coming through and he going to come back soon.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna roll and we're gonna holler at y'all later. Peace.